My favorite college softball team has the #1 recruiting class for 2027. How's yours doing? Well, if you're an OU fan, you're doing really well once again in the world of recruiting. Sooners have the #1 overall recruiting class for 2027. 2 5-stars, 2 4-stars, and the Sooners aren't done just yet. And it's been fireworks this week. 2 Go Boomer tweets from Patty Gasso in less than 24 hours. I know that we all like that. First, it was Finlee Williams, the #3 overall player, 5-star outfielder from Melissa, Texas. And then later on Tuesday afternoon, Emma Reynolds, the #62 overall player, according to Softball America, the #1 player in Arizona. Emma Reynolds committed to the Sooners, middle infielder out of Queen Creek, Arizona. So you've had Grace Lyons. You now have Gabby Garcia. Could Emma Reynolds be your next great infielder from the state of Arizona? Obviously, we'll see. But a very fun and a very intriguing get. Listed as a middle infielder, I think Emma Reynolds can definitely play a corner infield spot and probably would be my guess. Maybe this is your Nelly McEnroe-Moranis replacement. Who knows? There's a lot of options on the board for a player like Emma Reynolds. And I think she's just a very intriguing prospect. Ranked #62 in the country. She is the best player in the state of Arizona. And just remember, when you look at these recruiting rankings, OU can get whoever they want, for the most part. OU can go out and get whoever they want, and they evaluated Emma Reynolds and said, this is a player that we really want and a skill set that we're really intrigued with. And you look at the 5'10" frame, which I think that's, there's a lot to like there. A lot of power. Really think that she can be a deadly hitter at this level. And just overall, just kind of a lot to like, especially if you're evaluating her. If not a middle infielder, and she could certainly play there, but definitely at one of the corner infield spots. The numbers her sophomore year of high school, fantastic. 519 average, 33 RBIs, 14 doubles, 4 triples, 8 home runs, and those numbers are in 35 games, 108 at-bats. So hit well over 500, a very, very productive hitter, and I'm sure that those numbers offensively will only go up and up and up, and of course, she'll only get better as she progresses through her high school career. But loved her visit to Oklahoma, and she was at OU this past weekend. Reached out to her about a quote for her visit. She said, "I loved everything about Norman. It just felt like home the moment I got there. The people were all so kind and welcoming, and I love the standard they have for all of the girls and how hard they all worked." You hear that a lot with players that visit Norman. Obviously, the ones you hear it more for the ones that end up picking Oklahoma. It just felt like home. So there's just something about Oklahoma, whether it's the people, the coaching staff, the other players there. It's probably not just one thing. It's probably just kind of everything. It just always feels like home. It's the standard right now for college softball. Golly, it may be the standard of all collegiate sports right now. But never overlook that. How many athletes come in for a visit and say, I don't know, just felt like home. Just felt like home, and this is where I wanted to be. And I'm very, very glad that this is where Emma Reynolds wants to be, because I think she's a very, very, very good softball player. In her commitment post, she said, "I want to thank my Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ for this amazing opportunity. I want to thank my family, friends, coaches, and my teammates. Blessed to be a Sooner. #committed, #Boomer Sooner, #Oklahoma, #softball, #all glory to him." Yeah, we are very glad that you're here as well. And she adds to a class, like I said, that is already really, really good. You got the #1 catcher in the class. You've got the #2 catcher in the class. You got the #1 outfielder in the class. Now you've got the #1 player in Arizona. And OU is hot right now. Hot, hot, hot on the recruiting trail. Not done just yet. You've still got some targets out there. The targets that you have remaining: #1 overall player, Aspen Boulware, an infielder out of Columbia, South Carolina. #7 pitcher, Vivian Knott, out of the state. #7 player, #1 overall pitcher, Vivian Knott, out of the state of Connecticut. That's at least the list of visitors that you've had so far. And here's this staff once again kind of cleaning house after the first 2 recruiting weekends. And we'll see if they have another big recruiting weekend a week from this Saturday or not. But so far, 7 visitors have visited Norman for official visits in the 2027 class, and 4 of those are commits. And the only one that hasn't committed, that visited, that's going elsewhere officially, is Holland Gentry, the catcher out of the state of California that's heading to Texas Tech. But you've still got a couple on board. You're the number one class right now, and there's a lot to be excited about. And you look across the board, there's obvious reasons for that, but especially when you look at a player like Emma Reynolds. You know, there's a lot to like about Emma Reynolds. Yeah, clearly as a softball player, she's very talented. I just kind of look at her as just a great athlete. And I kind of wonder if that's how OU evaluated her as well. Like, yes, we like the softball part of this. We just kind of like the overall athlete that she is, because she's also a quarterback for her high school flag football team. And like I pointed out a couple of days ago, like, she's good. Like, she can sling it. She's got an arm. She can push the ball down the field and hit on some deep throws. Highly accurate over the middle. Like, she is a very, very good quarterback. And it's not really a surprise when you kind of know the backstory of her upbringing. She grew up with 5 other siblings, and 3 of those were older brothers. She was always at the football workouts, and sounds like she just said, I'm not going to sit off to the side. I'm just going to routinely join in on that. You know, her dad played football at Arizona State. She just comes from a very, very athletic family, and she just jumped right into the middle of it with all her brothers, all her other siblings, and she is very, very competitive, according to her older brother, Tate Reynolds, who is a quarterback commit heading to Clemson. So I like that. I like someone clearly that's a very talented softball player, but someone who is just incredibly athletic, can play multiple sports at a high level, and super competitive. You got to be super competitive in this program because everybody else is, and everybody else is really talented. So how are you going to set yourself apart from all the other great players in this program? Well, you better be able to roll up your sleeves. You better be willing to do that, fight every single day, and go out and earn a spot. And she was just kind of born as the youngest of 6 kids, and she said, I'm just going to go compete with everyone. I don't care who it is. So I like this one a lot. Really like this one a lot. Just like the upbringing, love the story. We'll have to get her on the show to kind of get to know her a little bit more. Again, listed as a middle infielder, but I think she could very well be a corner infielder. Hits the ball a ton. Very smooth defensively as well. And if you go look at her high school highlights, especially at shortstop, just smooth, quick hands, easy transition. Just a very, very fun infielder just to watch take, routine ground balls throughout a game. But I'm happy. I'm very happy with the way that this class is coming together. I'll be even happier if we see another Go Boomer tweet or 2, because at this point, it feels like the next one is going to either be for the number 1 player, Aspen Boulware, or the number 1 pitcher, number 7 overall player, Vivian Knott. So hoping for 2 more Go Boomers. We'll see if OU is, kind of winding down to being done in this class after these 2, or if they will host more visitors or not. But I think overall you got to be extremely, extremely happy with what you've gotten so far. The majority of your main targets, you've already got them committed in the class. And you got another one in Emma Reynolds, something to be very, very excited about. How you guys feeling about the class? I think it's going really well. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel as always. OU softball recruiting coverage right here, absolutely for free. Are more Go Boomers on the way? Let's certainly hope so. Think we could be nearing a decision for both Aspen Boulware and Vivian Knott. But you know where to get all the information right here on this channel when all of that drops. Again, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But as always, guys, thank you for watching.